Hello guys, welcome to Physics Desk. So in this video I am going to focus on the second chapter of class 11 physics, that is unit and dimensions. So in this chapter there are some topics, very important topics that you will need in your future studies as well as in your day-to-day life, such as what is unit and how can we measure some physical quantities such as mass, length, time, etc. What is the basic unit to measure such quantities? So these are some of the topics which we cover in this chapter. So let's get into the video. So imagine a scenario that you are going to some shop to buy some rice. Then how do you ask the shopkeeper to give some rice? How do you convey your message, that is you need some rice? Whether you tell the shopkeeper to give some rice, some quantity of rice. Some rice means what? How much? That is how specific you specifically mention the quantity of rice, right? Like 5 kgs of rice or 10 kgs of rice. So here in this example, 5 is just a number. This number doesn't have any meaning unless and until we include kg to it. So this kg is nothing but the unit that represent for mass of an object. So we represent the rice in mass, so kg is the unit of mass of an object. So similarly, when you buy some milk, so imagine if you are buying some milk in the market, how you are going to buy? So similar to rice, whether you ask 5 kgs of milk, so that is completely wrong, right? So if is it 1 kg? No, we buy milk by considering liters, right? So from this example, what we can conclude, that is we have to consider different unit for different objects. That is, depending upon the physical quantity, we need to consider the unit. So depending upon the physical quantity, we need to consider the unit. That is, in our previous example, we consider rice. So rice is a solid object, so we consider it as kg. So here in this example, milk is liquid, so we consider it as liter. So from these example, what we can conclude is, depending upon the physical quantity, we need to consider the unit. So what is unit? How we can define the unit? So we can define the unit as, it is the measurement of any physical quantity. It is the measurement of any physical quantity that involves comparison with a certain basis arbitrarily chosen internationally accepted reference standard called units. So the result of a measurement of a physical quantity is expressed by a number of accomplished by unit. So unit basically gives us the fair idea on how big the quantity is or how small a quantity can be. For example, if someone asks you that how far is your school from your home, so what is your answer? So what will be your answer? That is, if this is your home and this is the school, So if someone asks you how far your school is from your home, so what will be your answer? Is it 5 centimeter? Is it too? It is too small, right? 5 centimeter is nothing but the half of the length of the pencil. That is not right. Is it 5 meter? 5 meter is also too close for a school to be situated. So if your school is situated at 5 meter distance, then your school must be inside your compound or inside your compound of your home, right? Then the correct answer for this question will be 5 kilometer. So this will be a somewhat correct answer. So what this kilometer indicate? So from this example we can understand that unit must represent how big your physical quantity is. That is, where physical quantity is anything which can be measured. That is physical quantity. Some of the examples are for physical quantity is mass, length, volume, temperature, etc. So whereas non-physical quantity is something which cannot be measured, like happiness. So can you measure your happiness? Or sad, how sad, and fear. So these are the quantity which cannot be measured using some devices, but we can measure the quantity such as mass, length, volume, temperature, etc. by using some devices, whereas mass can be calculated using weighing machine, length can be measured using meter scale, volume can be measured using some equation, temperature can be measured using thermometer. So we have some devices to measure physical quantity, but it is impossible to measure the non-physical quantities such as happiness, sad, fear, etc. So this is all about unit and how we can define unit. Now we have the clear idea about what is unit and how we can define the unit. Next, we need to know there are two types of unit. First one is fundamental units and second one is derived units. So from the name itself, the fundamental unit is nothing but the unit for the fundamental or base quantities are called fundamental units. So like I mentioned before, there are some physical quantity which can be measured. So first one is mass. So the unit for mass is kg. And time, how you can measure time? Using seconds. Third one, temperature. There are different units for temperature that we will study in our future classes, but the SI unit for temperature is Kelvin, and fourth one is length. We measure the length by the unit meter. So these are the fundamental units, that is the unit for fundamental or base quantities. So there are four fundamental quantities: mass, time, temperature and length, and the unit for those base quantities are called fundamental units. And there are many units which we use in our day-to-day life. So other than these four units, all other units comes under the derived units. So as the name indicates, these units are derived from the fundamental units. So we already know there are four fundamental units for four different base quantities, and the units which are derived from the fundamental units are called derived units. So there are n number of derived units. Only four base fundamental units are there. All other units other than the fundamental units comes under derived units. So some of the examples are area. If need to calculate the area of this figure, how we can calculate? Length side into side, right? So this is the length. Length is nothing but the unit for length is meter. So length into length will be meter into meter. So meter square. So the unit for area will be meter square. So this is the method to derive the derived units from fundamental units. Here meter is the fundamental unit and meter square is the derived units, which is derived from the fundamental units. So similarly, volume. So how we can measure the volume? We know that density is equal to mass divided by volume. So volume is equal to mass into density, or volume of the cube will be meter into meter into meter, that is meter cube. Similarly, speed. So equation to calculate speed is nothing but distance divided by time. So distance is nothing but we measure the distance in length, and unit for length is meter and unit for time is second. Hence the unit for speed is meter per second. Here the unit for length and time is the fundamental unit, and the unit for speed, which is derived from the fundamental unit, is meter per second. Similarly, density, mass divided by volume, that is kg per meter cube. So these are the some of the example for derived unit. So a complete set of these units, both fundamental and derived units, is known as system of units. That is a complete set of fundamental, that is 4 fundamental units, and derived units, which are derived from the 4 fundamental units, are known as system of units. Then comes into a picture of the international system of unit. So in earlier time, scientists of different countries were using different system of unit for measurement. 3 such systems are GPS system, FPS system and MKS system. These are the 3 different system of unit that are used in earlier times for different physical quantities. So if we consider 3 physical quantities, that is length, mass and time, in these 3 different system of unit, the units which we consider length, mass and times are different for different system of units. So first we will know what is CGS system. So in CGS system, unit for length, mass and time. So we already studied the unit for length is meter, mass is kg and time is second. But in CGS system, we consider the unit for length as centimeter, mass as in gram and time is in second. So the name comes CGS, that is CGS. Similarly, in FPS system, we initially consider length, mass, time. We know that length considered in meter, mass is in kg, time is in second. But in FPS system, the unit for length, mass, time are length is in foot and mass is in pound and time is in seconds. So the name comes FPS. Similarly, in MKS system, the unit for mass, length and time are different for different quantities. That is, length is in meter, mass is in kilograms and time is in second. So the names come MKS. So from these three systems we can conclude that the unit for time is same for all three different system of units. So the system of units which is at present internationally accepted for measurement is SI units. So in different parts of the world, the scientists used the three different system of unit. So in some of the part, the scientists used Cgs system. In some part, the scientists used FPS system, and in some of the cases, they used MKS system. So it is found very difficult to understand the units. So the system of unit which is at present internationally accepted. So there must be one single unit that is accepted for internationally for measurement of the physical quantities. So SI unit is the unit which is internationally accepted for measurement. So now let us discuss the SI unit in details. Or what is SI unit? That is, the system of units which is accepted internationally is called SI unit. The full form of SI unit system is System International. So this is the globally accepted system for measurement. In different part of the world, different system of units are being used, like Cgs system and FPS system and MKS system that we studied just now. And for example, in some countries the unit for mass is kg, and whereas in some countries the unit is pound. So here comes the confusion, right? So we need global system for measurement. So if we are in such situation so that everyone in the world can understand the quantity regardless the places they are in, so the unit must be same in all over the world. So System International comes into picture. So in this is globally accepted system for measurement, and in SI system there are 7 fundamental units. So other than these 7 fundamental units, all other are derived units. So first one is mass, and we represent mass as m, and SI unit for mass is kilogram, where we represent the kilogram as kg. Second one, length, and the symbol for length is L, small letter L, and SI unit for length is meter, where we represent meter as small letter m. And for time, third one, we represent time as small letter t, and SI unit for time is second, where small letter s indicate the second. Fourth one, current symbol, we represent the current as I, and SI unit for current is ampere, where we define ampere as A. And next fundamental quantity is temperature. We represent temperature as capital letter T, and SI unit for temperature is Kelvin, where we represent Kelvin as capital letter K. Next one, amount of substance, that we also learn in chemistry, and the symbol for amount of substance is small letter n, and SI unit for amount of substance is mole, and we represent mole as MOL. And last fundamental quantity, that is 7th one, is luminous intensity, and SI unit for luminous intensity is candela, and we represent candela as CD. So these are the 7 fundamental units which we represent in international, that is SI system. These are the 7 globally accepted units, and other than these 7 units, all other units are derived units. So this is all about SI unit. So this is all about unit and till now we studied some basic concept of unit and classification of unit and how we can represent internationally system international, that is how we can mention the unit in globally. So these are the some important topics which I covered in this video, and in my upcoming video I'm going to cover the measurement of some physical quantities such as mass, temperature, length, time, etc. And if you have any doubt regarding this video, please comment down below and I will explain it in my upcoming videos. So thank you.